Hey everybody, the Chang here with a quick instructional video on revolver loading. But before we get into that, help us out with that algorithm. Hit that subscribe button and then give us a thumbs up if you like this video. So quick instructional video, like I said, it is specifically for the instructor candidates who are looking at becoming NRA certified instructors. So they have to do this thing called the Appendix 5, and then there's an exercise on loading and unloading a double action revolver. But that doesn't mean that this isn't an appropriate video for you if you're just learning to try to manipulate your revolver. Now this is in particular for the left hand, so we got that L going on here. So I do have the video for the right-handed. I will put a card for it right up here somewhere so that you can go ahead and look at that if you're right-handed. But for my instructor candidates and my left-handed folks, I have a couple of options here. Now, this is, revolvers are designed as right-handed guns. So thinking back to our method here, and if you took the NRA Basics of Pistol course, you'll notice that on page, I believe it's 1661, they talk about loading double-action revolvers, but they don't really say anything about left-handed. So let's think about that process. First thing we have to do, at least here, let's talk about unloading, is I have to actually get this cylinder latch or the cylinder out. So I have to manipulate the cylinder latch here. So I have a couple of ways to do that. One way to do it is actually taking my shooting side thumb, so my left thumb, pushing forward. This is a Smith & Wesson, so the latch goes forward. Other brands, they'll go backwards. They may have levers here, but pushing that forward so that I can go ahead and push that cylinder out. The other method I can use, I find the thumb method pretty awkward. So you can use your trigger finger to go ahead and push, or you can go ahead and bring your thumb from your support hand, which would be your right hand, to push, and you can kind of knuckle the cylinder through the frame. Now, once that's done, if you think about our right-handed method, we actually wanted to get the cylinder angled in such a way that any loose stuff might fall out, right? I could work the extractor or ejector rods here like this, but I like using this method. This is the secondary method that they talk about in the book, where I can use my support hand and punch down on that ejector rod to get those extractors to really pull out anything that's stuck, right? So I can actually do that. Notice I'm doing this. I'm not using the rock and roll thing that the right-handed shooters use. So I'm doing this. Now, if I wanted to load, right, again, if I was starting out here, if I want to load the revolver, get it up into my shooting hand, I can, again, use my shooting thumb to push that, loosen it and push that through with my thumb, or I can use my trigger finger, push that through my thumb, or I can use my support side thumb and kind of knuckle that cylinder through. I'll lock up the cylinder. Now, I want to point the barrel and the cylinder downward so I can use gravity to help out with anything here. So what I'm doing now is I'm using, if I was a left-handed shooter, this is my dexterous hand, so I'm actually able to really aim these cartridges into the chambers. I really don't want to do this spinning thing, right? And that really comes into play if I'm using a speed loader. If I have a speed loader, I'm going to use my fingers to kind of index around that cylinder and then work the speed loader's controls as I can. Now that I have all my chambers loaded in the cylinder, I'm going to establish my shooting grip. I'm going to close the cylinder, give that a twist to lock up the action, and then I can go ahead and start firing as I need. So there you go. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. Again, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to help us out with that algorithm, and hit that bell notification icon off to the right so that you can be notified of any new content that we might post. Thank you so much for your time. Stay safe, and we will see you out on the range.